Now to an inspiring weight loss win, a man dropping more than 300 pounds by taking walks to Walmart.
This guy lost 330 pounds in 18 months walking to Walmart. What? Today I'm reacting to man loses 330 pounds by walking to Walmart daily. My name is Dave. I own one of the largest personal training companies in the entire world, and I'm here to help you get shredded without falling for fitness nonsense. Let's watch the video.
Now to an inspiring weight loss win, a man dropping more than 300 pounds by taking walks to Walmart. What a great idea, shedding the weight and getting back his life. ABC's Mar Schiavocampo went one-on-one with him. Hey, Mar.
David, this is a transformation really you will not believe. They call him Possible Pat, and he accomplished the near impossible. He was tipping the scales at more than 600 pounds when his doctor told him he may die in his sleep. So he decided to change his life, going from 53% body fat to 10% body fat. And now he's training to be a bodybuilder.
So I did some math here. Basal metabolic rate, how many calories he burns doing nothing, it's about 3,100 calories, which him just laying around doing his day-to-day stuff, he's burning about 3,700 calories per day, which is probably significantly more than any of you guys currently, which means he could burn a lot of fat and a lot of calories by doing nothing.
How did he do it all? Well, it started with one walk to Walmart.
Walmart.
Ever since he was little, Pat Bracco was always known as the big kid.
My nickname was Fat Pat, or Fatty Patty, or Pat Steaks.
And until 3 years ago, at 28 years old, he weighed in at a shocking 605 pounds. Already pre-diabetic, his doctors told him he was in serious danger.
He said, you know, it's possible that you might die. It really hit home.
That's when Pat went home, looked at himself in the mirror, and took this photo.
My stomach was down to my thighs. My chest was hanging down here. I was disgusted.
And so his journey started by throwing out all the food in his house, deciding that every time he was hungry, he would walk 1 mile to the closest Walmart.
It's incredibly smart. So you want to make foods that are unhealthy for you, hard to reach, and basically out of sight, out of mind, and have healthy foods close to you.
And 1 mile home to eat his meal. Doing this for a year and a half, losing a whopping 200 pounds.
So a year and a half, 200 pounds. That's going to be about 18 months. That is a little over like 10 to 12 pounds a month, which means generally rule of thumb, I mean, he's a lot bigger than most people, so he could burn more fat, but 1 to 2 pounds a week is a good target. He's at right around 2.5 pounds a week, which is going to be about a 1,250 calorie deficit, which means he's probably eating about 2,750 calories per day, which is still a lot.
You walk to Walmart 3 times a day, and you ended up walking 6 miles. It was amazing because I've never walked 6 miles in my life. And
6 miles, it's right around 10,000 steps per day for most people, which that's a really good number, a really good target.
I was doing it every day.
Saying goodbye to junk food, fast food, and soda, and hello to clean eating.
It basically was vegetables, meats, and clean carbs.
Carbs such as sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, and steel-cut oatmeal.
All carbs turn into sugar, but it depends how fast it turns into sugar. So clean carbs are ones that are on a low glycemic index, high satiety, high volume. So stuff like sweet potatoes, quinoa, steel-cut oats, those are all going to keep you full longer, high in fiber. You go towards sugars, it's going to be quick energy, quick bursts, increase in blood sugar, cravings going forward. He's making great choices, so I like it.
And learning along the way that he'd never be able to eat certain foods again.
Once I figured out dairy was my downfall, I took it out of my diet, and instantly I started losing weight again.
From Walmart walks to workouts at the gym, incline on the treadmill.
Dairy doesn't inherently make you gain weight. Knowing what your Achilles heel is and knowing what's going to make bad decisions, spiral the wrong direction, get it out of your life.
Pushing the sled, lifting weights, and now he can do it all.
Man, 600 pounds. I couldn't even go to a gym. I didn't fit on machines.
From Fat Pat to Possible Pat. 330 pounds lighter, not only changing his own life.
That's crazy. But as you can see with this too, like you see how big he is? That's muscle mass he pretty much already had. Because he had that much muscle mass that's carrying our weight around. Now he got rid of the body fat, gives his body reason to maintain the muscle mass through strength training, and now he looks like this. So that's crazy.
But encouraging his 1-year-old son as well.
And setting an example for my son. So he can come up and be Possible Pat too. Good job!
This
That is
story makes me
incredible.
so
Yeah.
happy. Amazing. Well, Pat has undergone the final step in his transformation. Just this week, he had surgery to remove about 30 pounds of excess skin. He had really been looking forward to that. Now he's at home recovering, says he's feeling good. We hope he's watching. Pat, congratulations on everything you've achieved.
Pat is jacked.
Yes.
Not only he's setting the bar for the rest of us. You know, he achieved this though by really watching what he ate. What was he eating before and what's he
So
eating
let's
now?
take a look at this. This is amazing. This is one day of what Pat was eating before when he was more than 600.
These are all extremely calorie dense things, low satiety. So him just making that swap to what's on the left hand side, we're going to see in a second, is amazing because this is probably the worst stuff you can possibly have. And if you want to know what not to do, don't get any of this.
Pounds.
One day. The
One
nuggets
day.
here?
These are 100 chicken nuggets. We have a shake. We have a huge meatball sandwich, donuts, candy, a whole bag of cereal, lots of soda, and of course the dairy that he mentioned.
Yeah.
This is what Pat is eating today. So this is about 11,000 calories. This is 2,200, all fresh whole foods, nothing processed. He's really setting a great example.
Of course, combining what he's
11,000 calories. I don't think he was eating that much every single day. Probably closer around 6,000 calories per day on average he was eating. On the left, 2,200 calories. I put a ballpark right around 2,750, right? So it's pretty close. I mean, he's going to have days where he's not perfect. He lost 330 pounds in a year and a half, which is insane. With this, chicken's great. That sweet potato is great. Dill is great. Eggs are great, 60 calories per egg. If you want to be even better, like I said, egg whites. Most of the calories in the yolk, not the white. If you have any sort of vegetables, it's amazing. Don't cook it in a bunch of oil. Don't saute it.
eating with also the exercise
Lots of
and the
fitness.
simple walks to Walmart.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to try to pull off a simple walk to Dr.
I think you can do it.
All right, I'm going to try to lose a few calories here. We're joined now by our contributor, Dr. Jen Ashton, who is board certified in obesity medicine. Dr. Ashton, great to see you.
How are you, David?
I made the walk.
You did
Lost a few
very
calories
well.
right there. Anyway, this is just incredible. And you heard that he watched what he ate. How much of that is crucial to losing any kind of weight?
A large part of it.
Yeah.
In the nutrition world, we call this the energy balance. It's the calories we put in. It's not just about what we're eating, but how much. And I'm going to break some news here, David.
All right.
You know what the best
If you're making unhealthy choices, it's very hard to get on a calorie deficit.
diet is that data has shown?
Best.
It's the one that works for you.
Oh.
So he found
Yes, I hardly ever hear that. Everyone's always saying, dude, you gotta do keto, you gotta do Atkins, you gotta do paleo, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Those are all just methods to get on a calorie deficit. What she said is amazing. I love that so much. What the best diet is what works for you. So do whatever works for you and just follow that. Thank God, finally someone says that.
what works for him. My prescription here, portion control. So important. We saw it there. It's important for everyone.
You know, the first instinct for everyone is really just to hit the gym hard. We see the Olympic athletes out in Times Square for us, but
Yep.
so much of this has to do with food first, watching what you eat, and then
You can't outwork a bad diet. Biggest thing, like she said, is portions and choices.
Absolutely. But look, what we do in the gym, how we move, that's important for not just how we feel, but what people see on the outside. The Institute of Medicine actually recommends to lose weight 60 minutes of moderate intensity exercise a day. For men, you want to drop your caloric by about 500 calories a day. For women,
An hour is great. That's good advice. But if you can't get an hour, just do 30 minutes. Just do 40 minutes. Do whatever you can. It's whatever's best for you. Something's better than nothing. You don't need to be perfect. Just get in the good zone. So if you go from doing nothing to doing something, you're already in the green. 500 calorie deficit per day. That's a pound a week. 1 pound of body fat is 3,500 calories. To do that, you can lose a pound a week, 52 pounds a year, which he was on a 2.5 pound a week deficit, which is about 1,250 calories. Not recommended for pretty much anyone. He could only do that because he was 600 pounds.
it's about 400 calories a day. My prescription for fitness, mix it up. You want to lift weights, you want to do cardio, you want to work in the interval.
yeah,
training.
make it interesting for
make
yourself,
it
right?
fun.
The other thing
I like what you said. Also, don't like interval training. I mean, this is also 9 years ago, so things have changed. Intervals hit like high intensity interval training, low intensity steady state. None of it really does that much. Fasting doesn't do that much. Like working out fasted. The science has changed quite a bit over the last decade. So, but I do like what he said. Do what's fun. Do what you're going to do long term.
too is this is complex. Obesity is. So you can't just think of it as food or exercise.
Correct.
There's much more there.
That's right. And this pyramid is really what we're using in the world of obesity medicine. Behind the diet and fitness, you have to talk about FDA-approved weight loss medications. There are numerous ones that are on the market. You can
So none of those are GLP-1s. That's going to be your Ozempic, tirzepatide, retatrutide. Again, medications, they're a tool. So you can't just take a medication and lose weight.
lose between 3 and 10% of your body weight. But to be clear, there can be side effects. They can be expensive. My prescription is to try and see a physician who is board certified in obesity medicine to see if this is an option.
We know Pat's getting some surgery now.
Also do your own research. Like I said, we have a lot of clients to do this. Some of these doctors just do it. They don't pay attention, don't look at lab. Do your own due diligence, do your research, and see for yourself if it's a good option, because sometimes it's not a good option.
After the fact to
Right.
remove the excess skin and what have you. But what about surgery going in?
We have over 20 years of data on bariatric surgery. It can be life-saving. It is not a quick fix. My prescription, if you've tried all of these and you're still obese, go see a bariatric surgeon, see if you may be a candidate.
But listen,
She's pretty spot on. I like this. You have to make good choices. You have to show the surgeon you can lose weight first, physically and mentally and psychologically stable enough to do this. They have to see that you're already on a weight loss path.
if you're overwhelmed, just look at Pat in that story. Isn't it incredible?
I love the story.
That's amazing that he did that. That's super cool. 330 pounds, that is a phenomenal feat. He looks amazing. 2.5 pounds a week weight loss is pretty phenomenal. I wouldn't recommend that for most people. He can only do that because he has an insanely high basal metabolic rate, insanely high caloric burn, and he's super dedicated. So I think for you, your goal, pound and a half a week is probably the sweet spot. 500 calorie to 750 calorie deficit per day. You can find this on tdecalculator.net. Put in your stats and tell you about how many calories you burn per average. Just know if you're new to tracking food and new to basically this goal, probably going to underestimate your calories. Like we have clients who would put a breakfast burrito in for 200 calories, which is probably 1,000 calories. I recommend hiring someone. If you want to hire us, reach out to us, send me a DM. I'll help you out. But like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.